And a couple things you want to keep in mind if you do start casting trout spey rods is that, you know, our typical fly cast is all in the top hand. And that cast is made like that with the top hand. But if you did that with a trout spey, your loop would be very open. So what you have to do is incorporate the bottom hand in that cast by pulling with the bottom hand. So what you have is uniform or even pressure on the handle of the fly rod. If I were to push with just my top hand, my loop would be very open because the rod tip's going to travel above parallel. The whole point of using your bottom hand is to keep the rod tip traveling parallel and then delivering a tight loop. And of course you can adjust how much pressure you put on the bottom hand and you'll figure that out. But you do need to balance that power between your top hand and your bottom hand. You need to be able to feel where the power needs to go. A little more to the top, a little more to the bottom to control the shape of your loop. And one last thing you really want to pay attention to is where your elbows are when you're casting trout speys. You want to keep your elbows down. And why you want to keep your elbows down is because it keeps the fly leader anchored on the water surface. If you raise your elbows, the line will have a tendency to lift that leader off the water and you lose your load on your rod. I'll show you what I mean. If I bring this in like this and I finish my sweep with high elbows, the leader pops up off the water and you've lost that purchase that's necessary for the rod to load. If I keep the elbows down, my leader will stay on the water and it'll keep the rod loaded and help me finish the cast.